Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh book from Valiant Wings. This is already the 24th issue in their Airframe and Miniature series, and as you can see, it is dedicated to the famous German aircraft. It's a Junkers 88, and what is interesting is that we have the part 2 here. So this particular book is dedicated to the versions from C to T, so Junkers 88C up to the Junkers 88T. And of course, what I have here on the table, it's the final shape of this book, so it should be already available. And in case you cannot wait, you can order it directly on publisher website. And I recommend to hurry if you want to get ones, because they get sold out really quickly. And I think this one is actually quite a popular type of the aircraft, so it has all of the chances to get sold out. Nevertheless, what we have here is the large format cover printed book. It's a soft cover as usual, and as you can see, it's quite thick and heavy. So here we have, I'm just checking the page count, and it should be 256 pages. So it's quite a hefty publication about this bomber. And okay, so first of all, I would like to close the lenses a bit so that you won't be blinded by the white paper inside. And of course, we start with the contents page. So here it is, and maybe I will just zoom in a bit. Now you can see what we will be talking about here. So we have, as usual, two sections. It's airframe chapters and miniature chapters, and airframe chapters is also separated into four sections. The same goes for the miniature chapters, and of course we have also some appendices which might be handy for modelers who are not sure what to pick. So in the beginning we have the, maybe I will put it like this, and let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, now you will be able to see the whole page spread. And so first here we have the glossary and the preface. Preface will tell you a bit more about the development story of those particular versions. And I really recommend to check it if you would like to learn more about this aircraft history. And usually they provide a lot of useful and interesting black and white photos. In some books you can even get the color printed photos, but I guess due to the age of this aircraft we will be getting mostly black and white, but there are a lot of quite rare shots, so that's why I usually recommend to check it and maybe use it as the reference material for your weathering ideas or maybe for your diorama ideas, because some of this stuff is really cool to replicate in a scale. And again, it doesn't matter which scale you would pick for your build, because it's still applicable even for the smallest builds. And what I'm trying now to do is to find the beginning of this section. So as you can see, it's the evolution of the Junkers 88C up to the F series. And here we have the clear explanation of how this aircraft was developed through this version. So you get the side view or side profile of each of the version. You get also some black and white shots if they were available for this or that type. And I think this is also a very handy section which will help you understand what is the main difference between, for example, the V63 and V63/1, because it might look simple, but there are actually some I would say important differences which might matter for those modelers who would like to get a really precise model. Next we continue with another evolution, but this one from G to H series, and I guess the same will apply also to some other types, because here we can see, for example, the T series, and then we start with something different. So this is the profile section and camouflage and markings to be exact. So here we get usually the detailed look on how those aircraft were painted, and as you can see, straight on the first page we have the some schematic recommendations on how the camouflage, this angular camouflage, was applied on the aircraft. I think it's really important thing because it will give you a bit more precise camouflage on your aircraft. Of course, we also get the side profiles or side markings, and this is not a full-fledged marking guide, I would say, but still you can get an idea. And maybe if you would prefer to copy this version, for example, it shouldn't be difficult to find the full camouflage, or maybe just to come up how it was applied on the other sides. And I really like that the color profiles are actually color profiles, not the black and white as some publishers do. As you can see, also the regiment insignia also printed in color and given in this zoomed in view, so maybe you can try to replicate it with a brush if you would like to, because not always you can get exact decals, but maybe it's possible to replicate it with the freehand painting, and it's quite colorful insignias. And because the camouflage itself rarely was getting into some bright colors, so that it might be a really good differentiator. And here you can see also some of the special camouflages. This one looks really interesting to be assembled even in the small scale. We also have this projects with a Focke-Wulf 190, and yes, it was called Mistel. So there are some kits available on the market which are copying this config, so it will be also an interesting subject to replicate. Next we start with the kits section. So here you will get the detailed look on the kits, which will give you a chance to build this aircraft in different versions. As you can see, again, we have the separations by the types of the aircraft which you would like to build. Mainly I can see it's Hasegawa and ICM probably, so it's somewhat classic choice, I would say, but still it's worthy candidates, and some of them were actually reviewed by me on the YouTube channel which you are watching at the moment, so definitely check them out because they are still a decent alternative to build in the popular scales. And here we start the buildings selection. So this is the 6th chapter, and as you can see, it begins with the Hasegawa in 1/72. This is a well-known kit, and in 1/72 scale it's I would say not a huge project in terms of the size, but still it can be brought up to the very interesting level of detail, as you can see here. And these articles are notable because they are providing you a necessary, I would say, detailed look at the various steps of the assembly. So this is very important aspect, I think, because it might give you some help with your builds as well. Here you can see another project starting. I just need to wind back a bit. So it's a Junkers 88C6 from ICM. Then we also have the Hobby Boss in 1/72 scale. This is quite old one as far as I remember. And then we have the section which is named as the building a collection. As you can see here, it's a chapter 7, but here we have the differences shown in terms of this dark gray color, so that it will be easier to understand what was actually changed from the previous type. And this is very useful section so that you can replicate the main changes on your model. And again, it doesn't matter which scale you choose, still all this stuff applies even to the tiny scale. And next one is In Detail. So In Detail provides you a close-up look at the various parts of the aircraft. Again, very useful for the super detailing of your model, especially if you're working on the large scales, because then you can go very crazy details with some scratch building, maybe with some aftermarket. And of course, it also gives you a chance to fix some things in the standard plastic so that the actual result will be a bit more precise and up to the real thing. But as you can see, all of the items are getting this look. We also get the technical drawings from the real documentation. And here we have, for example, armament. Then we have the canopy. We also have the radio section, and I can see the camera. Here we have electrical parts. Here we also have the access panels, which is also quite an interesting section. That's the tropical equipment. And then we have the appendix. So this one is dedicated to the kits. There are also separate appendices about the accessories, for example, decals, and even books. And so if you would like to get even more information, you can get some of the books which are mentioned in this section. And very nice bonus is this drawings insert. As you can see, it is provided in 1/48 scale. Definitely useful stuff for those modelers who would like to get the precise panel lines up to the drawings. So that's where this thing will come handy. So price is mentioned here on the backside. It's 28.95 British pounds, and that's on the same level as all of the previous issues of this publication, and should be already available. But as I said, it can be sold out really quickly. So if you would like to get one, just go on the official publisher website and get it there. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion. So do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.